Well, welcome back to the channel. June of 2026 marks a 10-year anniversary here at Northern Maine Productions, and that is I have owned my Snapper 3081 lawnmower from the mid 1970s for 10 years. 10 years ago in June, I brought that thing out of an old barn from a friend of mine. It had been sitting a number of years before I got it, and I decided that I would try to make it run again. I was tired of messing around with these junky modern lawnmowers. There was some issues with a fire. The engine had caught on fire in it at some point in time. I don't remember the details. I don't know if the carburetor was at fault or if they were putting gas in it when it was hot. Something happened and it ended up catching on fire, and the carburetor got burned fairly good, and the fuel lines were burned off of it, and the governor linkage, it's got that little plastic slide control on for where the throttle cable attaches to the engine. That got melted off of there. So I had to repair all that stuff before I could actually run the machine. And I eventually did get it started. I got enough pieces and parts back in the carburetor and got that straightened out. I think the float was actually sunk in that carburetor, if I remember right. Seems to me like the float was full of gas. But it may have gotten hot enough that it melted the solder too. Who knows? But so I got the carburetor back on it, and it started. It started right up pretty easy. The engine never sounded very good on that machine. The engine always had this funny clacking noise to it when it was idling, and it always smoked like a bastard. That thing, it used a lot of oil for all the time I've used it, and it only kept getting worse, actually. The last 2023 was really the last year that I really ran that machine much because the oil consumption was getting way, way out of control. But so just recently, in fact, it was exactly 10 years to the day, I changed the engine on that machine finally, and I put an older, an even older Briggs engine on it. I put a 1969 7 horsepower Model 17 Briggs back on it, and amazingly, it actually seems to run really good. It's probably the strongest that machine's ever run in the 10 years I've owned it. So I went through my Facebook page, I've gathered up some video clips and some of the first photos I ever took of that machine way back in 2016. I've taken a number of photos of it over the years and a few video clips, but I never really put any of the video clips on my Facebook page or on my YouTube page because I wasn't really into that sort of thing back then. I was more into chasing trains and doing train videos back then. So I've compiled them together here. I'm going to put them in one video, and you get to see them all. And they're going to run in chronological order. I'll run them from oldest to newest. So I hope you guys enjoy this little look back at 10 years of owning this old Snapper. Um, enjoy. So, as you can tell, it's been quite an adventure owning that Snapper 3081. Um, I've done quite a few repairs to it over the years, and I've got many, many, many hours of mowing enjoyment out of that machine. As worn out as that engine was on that, it was surprisingly dependable. The biggest thing was I just had to keep an eye on the oil level in it. Other than that, it ran dependably. It ran pretty good. It never had a lot of power, but I didn't care. I did occasionally have to take the spark plug out of it and knock the carbon out of the electrodes of the spark plug because, as you could tell, as you can probably imagine, burning oil would carbon the plug up really bad. Um, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I've had a lot of fun with this old machine over the years, and I'm I don't have any plans on really doing a top-notch restoration on that machine because the rest of the machine has worn a lot, as I've described in other videos, and I'm just gonna basically keep it going as it is. I may do some paint touch-up on it. The paint's getting pretty bad on it again now, and the engine looks absolutely awful. That 1969 Briggs needs to be painted really bad, and I may just give it a really quick dust in there with some white paint just to make it look a little better, but I'm not going to get too carried away with that one. I got the other machine that's all nicely restored, and I'm going to use that one. So, thank you for watching. Bye bye.